edition. Practically a whole nother day instead of the day intended edition of the All That You Don't Gamer. Me, who this here, the Bad Gamer on YouTube and Twitch. I appreciate you for tuning in this late. If you're catching me this late, I did say I'd be on earlier. A lot of stuff got in the way. You know, life be life and adulting be adulting. So, can't really always get what you want as far as your time. You try to manage your time best you can, basically. But I failed that test today. Not on purpose, not trying to, but that's just what it is. But we are here. We are back for some more OG Star Fox on the Super Nintendo, the virtual Super Nintendo release. We don't have an actual Super Nintendo. As you can see here, we got the Nintendo Switch Online system to afford us that courtesy, that gift of the original first entry into the Star Fox franchise. Star Fox for the Super Nintendo. What am I looking for right now? Oh, duh, right here. My fault. I'm right here. I'm right here with you guys. Just hold on a second. Just have to refresh one or two things, make sure everything's intact, going good. And just start up the game so you know the theories about it. There you go. I can hear it. Yes, I can. Good. I can hear the game. You will hear me struggle through the game most likely. Not because I want to, not because I intend to, but because this is not an easy game whatsoever. If you know anything about the older Nintendo games, NES, SNES, it was almost like, I wouldn't say one trick pony, but it was almost like God given that you were in for a challenge. Especially for the older games, such as, of course, Star Fox, which we are doing right now. We are doing today, tonight, whichever time applies to you. Better yet said. Give me a second here. Might be a little loud. Alright, that's good. That's good right there. Hold up a second. Yeah, there we go. Alright. So, if it's your first time experiencing Star Fox along with me, because I never ever played this game ever, like once in my life, even though I was alive. 8 years old? Yeah, 8 years old when this came out back in 1993 originally. Never got around to playing it. I never had the Super Nintendo. I mentioned that before in past streams. I'd eventually like to get one in box, maybe, but then again, I'd also maybe like to just have one. It doesn't have to be sealed or boxed, just to have one. Yeah, check off something, from when you was younger. Sometimes you wanted something, you can eventually get the chance to afford yourself the opportunity to get it when you're older. That kind of thing, basically. So I don't know about in box like that, because that'd be kind of stupid. That'd be kind of one more thing to put up on a shelf. It gathers dust. It goes to little, if any, ever use. So I'd rather, I think, get one in some decent condition. If I gotta clean it up, or I don't know, swap parts or replace buttons and do that. But put it to good use. And of course that means get a hold of like original games, cartridges, all that shit, to see. What the fuck? We got a bunch of bums out here nowadays. Let's see. Boost. I'm trying to remember because I think I play on Monday. I did. I was really tired though. Boost. We got the blaster. Got the bomb. Then the break. Okay, I remember that much. Okay, at least I remember that much. So yeah, we got that. Up is up, down is down. Oh, I could use the cross pad to go down is up is down. Change view what? Oh, that's how you switch it. Okay, if you wanted to. Let's see. I'm fine with that. Okay, so they'd move the Nova, bomb, and blaster right next to each other instead of on top of each other. Okay, that could be convenient. Or break Nova, boost blaster on top. Nova, blaster, boost, break. I think that could work, actually. Actually, this one might work. That way I know Nova, blaster, break, and boost. Let's try that out. Okay. That should work. Oh shit, whoops. Not home, I meant start. No, we did enough to train. The training was strenuous enough. Let's just go into the game. Because the game is hard enough, we might as well just start. Do that thing with the game itself. So I did Corneria. Everybody's done Corneria. I did the little asteroid shower that came after. And I made it to the Space Armada. And then I died there with that boss. I think I have to destroy like 4 bombs and 4 different little hubs. And then eventually, meet up with the boss at the end, which is like a bitch. Like you gotta keep going up, down, time it right, avoid some like electrical currents. They take away a lot of health each time they do hit you. You gotta be precise with your aim and shit. So it's definitely an old school Super Nintendo game. It's not very forgiving. And of course, there's alternate routes. You gotta figure out. Well, this gives you the option to take the alternate routes if you want to. I thought you had to like discover them yourself. But again, I never played Star Fox, so I don't know. I only played Star Fox Galaxy 4, to be honest. And the demo that just came out now too. I've been trying that out. I have it up on a past stream, so let me see. I didn't try this route, the asteroid into Corneria into the asteroid, into the Fortuna, into Sector Z, into Macbeth, into Venom, which would be a really long route, apparently. But then how do you get to the black hole? You'd have to Titania, you gotta like take a secret exit, I'm guessing, to get to the black hole back up to Sector Y, and then from there to Venom. This is very hard. Well, I don't know. Hey, didn't record any of my scores, what the fuck? Oh, that's a goddamn shame. That was it, right? Yeah, we did do Space Armada. That was the boss. I was like, not so easy. The second boss. Yeah, I had to do this all over again. What are you gonna do though? Alright. So, go ahead. There we go. Alright. Still getting used to the buttons. At least there's different button layouts so I can kind of figure things out. So that way I got the blaster next to the bomb, the brake next to the boost. Good luck.
Good luck.
Oops. My fault. Very rough. I swear to God, it's not the capture card or me. That is the frame rate as the original game played. Double-digit frames per second. I doubt it. The polygons really rough, but it does have its. It has its charm to it. It's not easy. That's probably the charm, partially. I don't know, but it has its charm. Then again, this opening theme, this first stage theme, I mean, pretty epic. Whoa, sorry guys. Alright, stop blessing motherfuckers. Satellite. No one uses satellite dishes unless you use them out there. I never owned one. I've always been curious of how this satellite thing is or if it's worth it, but never had a satellite dish myself. Always had a cable. Legal cable for the most part, but then eventually I had to be adult enough to pay my own cable bill. Never cheap, never fun to do so, but goddamn it, I did it. Whoa! Thank God I cut the cord with cable, but then again, as I'm sure a lot of people bitched about already, so many streaming services nowadays. You gotta have one to watch one thing, gotta have another to watch a whole nother. And then there's the mystery of the fucking Fast and Furious movies. If you ever want to watch all 9 or 10, however many there are now. They're all over the place. Some are Hulu, some are fucking Peacock, some are, I think none are on Netflix. I think maybe even a couple might be on HBO Max. I haven't checked recently, but it's been like that. It's stupid, you know. But whatever. Vin Diesel gotta get paid somehow, someway, right? That's a God given. Some of the easiest gigs ever. Pretend to be damn near demigod persona with was it Vince what's his name in the fucking thing? Not Tutuola, that's SV Totoro. I forget his name in Fast and Furious, but it's either that or Groot. Groot. Talk about bag after bag, beyond easy shit for him. But good for him. He seems to be like I'd say decent enough guy, but he's also had his little quirks, his oddities as far as like saying stupid shit, like being too entitled to even know what the fuck reality is anymore. I don't hate him. I don't hate on him. Just good for him, but still like sometimes a reality check is necessary, brother. Especially when it was filmed with The Rock, like begging and pleading openly for The Rock to come back to do Fast and Furious and shit. That was pretty insincere and gay sounding the way he attempted to apologize, according to Vin Diesel's mind. His form of an apology. But yeah, you know, what do I have streaming service wise? I cut the cord officially with Disney because they wanted way too much for a service I really don't use like that. Even though like, a lot of us adults, I love it, you know, the majority of Disney movies, especially Disney Pixar stuff, majority of them too. But yeah, when they started increasing prices from Disney of all things, that's when they kind of lost me. I may reconsider once they drop season 2 of the X-Men 97 thing, but again, very strong reconsideration. Big maybe. It's one more fucking stream that I had to pay for. Goddamn it! One of those I think I actually missed cable. So at least you had it all in one place, but you know, for one price, one provider, you gotta remember the password for, the login for. Buy something new that uses a streaming service, you gotta remember that password, even though we have kept the same password for almost everything pretty much, but some variations. It's a bitch. It's a boy. It's a first world problem, if anything, goddamn. I have too many streaming services, I don't know which one to pay for anymore. Which one I should afford, goddamn it. Alright, back shots. Totally missed that. Oh, fuck. Okay, nice, I got him before my shield was completely gone. Nice. Alright. This boss ain't so hard, only because I've done some reps already, as per the previous stream and everything. Everybody nice and healthy? Holy shit. You see that shit? I need a medal for that. I kept them all in perfect health. I took all of the damage. Phew, look at that. Perfectly healthy. It's like they took no hits. I did all the work. You're welcome, team. Alright, back to the asteroids. Oh, man. Alright. Shut up, General. Let me at him already. Let me blast him. Let me at him. Bro, these fucking animals. Blast them out the fucking skies. Blast them into fucking particles and dust that'll float forever in the annals of space. Deep in a galaxy that no one's ever gonna know about or give a fuck about. That's the whole point here. That's the glamour of being part of Star Fox. The team. Oh, and if by any chance anybody out there watching hasn't downloaded the demo yet, totally free, and it's the only first stage was still something. Highly recommend. It's a lot of fun. That's one thing that's vital, since we're doing Star Fox 64 all over again for God knows how many times now. That's the running gag, we get it, but you know what? It works. It absolutely works. And on top of that, the game looks beautiful. The demo, at least. Corneria? Is that the first stage again? I forget. I think so. It looks beautiful. It's like, wow, the Switch 2 is... Fuck! Switch 2 is being used to its absolute full purpose and intent and potential. Oh my god, the stupid asteroids! I'm blasting through these things, they won't fucking disintegrate. and I'm dead. I only got one life to live. I'm like a white soap opera. Get off my face, cocksucker. Out of here. Blast, 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 blast. Do have 3 bombs, but I want to use them wisely. I don't want to waste them on these hoes. Fuck! God damn it. Come on, baby. Let's make it through the asteroids. Fuck! Oh, these things are taking so much. Yeah. Taking so much of my fucking health. I need the fucking shield boost. God damn. Where's one? I wasn't having this fucking problem before. I was able to clear him for whatever reason. Jesus. I'm sucking dick now. God, pause. I just mean in the sense of like I'm doing so bad. You're having a way with me here. In space. Oh, Lord. I'll show you motherfuckers. I'm in the hand of my business, my space business. I'm a gun for hire. I'm a space mercenary, damn it, in a kid's game somehow. But guess what? That don't mean I get to discriminate as far as who I take on and why. Oh, shit. Out of here, come on. Oh, God, come on, Peppy. Be a fucking man. Fight your own battles, goddamn. I gotta fucking save you. Okay, I think that's working. Boost by. Kind of steer clear of the goddamn plane. Good. Ah, shut up, Peppy. I gotta save your fucking ass. Don't even cry about you had the guy on lock or target. No, you didn't. You would have had him in your sights, you would have fucking got him yourself. But I had to step in from behind and backshot his ass. To death. You're welcome. So why having a fucking team? How's this a team when I gotta do all the work? Saving everybody. Where's my thank you? They're like, hey, how's mine? Then get him. Fucking get him. That's what we gotta do. Blast, fuck. Alright, come on. Doing okay so far. I'm not trying to be cocky, I'm just saying, doing okay so far. Oof. Thousand motherfuckers. Okay, I can insert myself inside the enemy, I think. Is this the one? Yeah, this is the one, I think. We gotta like go inside. That's all. No, this is a different one, I think. What's going on here? What we gotta do here with this fuckface? Okay, take your shit out of there. Yeah, alright, come on. Out of here. Oh, we got him. What's left? What's left to shoot at? Come on. Give me some. Okay. Ah. Okay, got his ass. Nice. On 0 lives too, but alright, we learn. Gotta boost through some of them fucking rocks. Yeah. Where's the sweat to break when you're fucking doing nothing compared to the captain of the fucking team? Falco. Jerk off. Doing nothing, acting like you did the most. Piece of shit. Alright, cool. I think next is the one with the bombs at the core or something like that to take out like that, so. Yeah, I think this is, Space Armada, that was the one. Okay. Macbeth. Ain't that some Shakespeare shit, Macbeth? I don't know. It's so late, I don't fucking know. Who knows? Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. General fucking nothing. You ain't helping. You ain't doing much to help me, brother. Yep, this is the one, okay. I'm 0 lives though, so I gotta tread carefully, keep my shield up. Just keep blasting. Okay, next I got an extra life. Okay, thank God, I needed that. Fighting chance, damn it. Star Fox, please, we need you. I can't fight for myself. I am a good-for-nothing badge bearer. Oh. I dodged a war. I just commanded. Ah, fuck you, Fox. How about you do something? Fuck you. Falco, why don't you do something? Why don't you be a part of the team and help me out? Help the captain out. Damn it. Alright, here we go. Going in. Going deep inside. Up is up, down is down. No, up is down, down is up. Oh! Ah! Fuck. Ugh. I'm trying to remember, damn it. Oh, fuck. Okay, I think I took it out stupidly, but whatever. It counts. Grass is mine, pal. In space, I own your ass. I'm looking for hire. And somehow, these are the bad guys, not me. Even though I'm paid to kill. You know, for the sake of war and peace and prosperity and shit, allegedly. I don't know what General Pepper's ulterior motives are. Hidden or made clear. Blast that shit, goddamn it. Oh, fuck. Okay. Barrel roll. Get the psychological advantage. We gotta barrel roll out these motherfuckers. Oh. Come here. Get over here. I'm gonna fucking shoot you down, goddammit. Was that a teammate? I can't tell. Oh. Who was that? Ah, who was supposed to hit me? Fuck. Come on, shield, something. Shield upgrade. Come on, get back my shield. Oh, fuck. Ah. Oh no, fuck. Eater of Worlds, 013. Get back into Winnebago. Reams from Florida. Okay, nice. Reams from space. Deep in the annals of space. Galaxy unknown, undefined. I forgot what this fucking place. Armada, something like that. Death by minivan missile. Yeah, you know. It's just what it is. Up is down, down is up. Right. Yeah. Ah! Damn it. Sideways, sideways. You still got some health. You still got some health. Get that girl. I don't know what that does. I would hope that was a life, but I would really hope that was a fuck a life. So, give me an extra life. No. I forgot up is down, down is up. Oh, shit. I forgot. No, God, I was supposed to use a bomb there, probably. Yes, very deep in the anus of space. Giving back shots to the galaxy. This end of the galaxy is getting all the back shots. Consensually, they know I'm there. I barely exist, I'm barely making a blip, but they know I'm there. They can feel it. Somehow, a fox, a frog, a hare, and a... Well, now the new falcon looks like a goddamn parrot, but at least back then he looked like a falcon. Somehow, we're the good guys, but we're the guns for hire. So we gets to kill for the sake of a price tag and peace. Oh, look, this is the one. Yeah, this is the part that fucks me up. Oh no, this ain't it. No, I gotta blast my way in. I think. No, he just lets me in. Okay. Do the back door, slide right in. The Winnebago camp, the bosses of yes. Oh fuck me. Damn it. Oh shit, I'm not gonna make it. God damn it, I have to restart. Up. Middle. Good. Fuck! Oh Jesus Christ. I think I might have a little continue left, but let's see if I do or don't. I forget how Star Fox works. I don't think I do. Might have to just do it all over again from the start. From Cornelia. Right. I don't look like a monkey, looks like a man. An old white man. Oh, I got a credit. Okay, nice. Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah. Dr. Andros wins again. He didn't even touch me. I didn't even get to see him. I didn't get to see the doctor at all. I just saw the RN. The very angry RN with the big Winnebago in the back. Yeah. Oh, yeah, right. It would be Space Armada. Okay. So we should start from there, hopefully with 3 lives. Alright, shut up, Pepper. Come on. We have 2 lives now. Alright, come on. Where are you? Yes. Blasting you out of space. I don't know what that does or what enhancement that gives me, but I got it. The laser goes blasts. And so do your particles. You cease to exist now, thanks to Sir Fox. Kill that noise. Someone tell Falco to get off the rag. Tell Slippy to get some balls. And tell... Peppy's the hair, right? Yeah, Peppy. Tell Peppy to come on down and take a anti-acid or something. He's always got something up his ass. Worrying way too much. Fuck you, be careful. How about you fucking stand your ground? Be a part of this team. Stop letting the captain do all the heavy lifting. You're a fat rabbit. That doesn't even make sense. You're supposed to be slim, you know, according to rabbit meat. Very lean, very proteiny and tough. But very delectable, very tasty. I like rabbit meat. It's been a while since I had rabbit. It's pretty good. I like to take it. Shit. Oh. Blast. Sideways we go. Is this the bomb? Is this a bomb? Let's try to bomb it. Fuck. Ow! Damn it. I don't know if that worked or did anything. Okay. Williamsy? Dr. Andros just got an email on Venom. Space Armada got them, sir, and he laughs and has a banana daiquiri. Dr. Andros be like, I know my fleet of old space Winnebagos would come in handy. Yeah. He knows what he's doing. He knows his employees. That's a given, at least in this one. In 64, they're kind of pushovers. But then again, I didn't even try the hard route, so I might be talking out of my ass. And talking a big one where I'm not anywhere near close to doing hard mode here. I'm struggling to even get through the basics. Let's see when it comes time for Star Fox 64 next week, in anticipation of building up to Star Fox, what was it? Next Thursday. Looking forward to that. I'll be streaming that as soon as humanly possible. I think I got the day off from work. If so, I'll be on very early, from the AM practically, or at least the evening soon as I clock out, goddammit, because there is such a thing as PTO. Shoutouts to that. So we get to be responsible adults, work throughout the day, and then be children, grown children at night. The hard mode drove me crazy in Star Fox 64 as a kid. You should give it a shot sometime. It has my favorite level, Area 6. Yeah, I've already played, well, it's been a while since I played 64. Maybe 2 years. There's a stream somewhere here on YouTube. I saved it. It was very fun. I only played Star Fox way back in the day on the 64 itself, like at a friend's house, and I wanted it, but of course I was like one of those kids. I'd only get one game a year if I was lucky. It is fun. From what I played, it to me it seems like a little easier, but yeah, I've always heard hard mode is like, yeah, rip your hair out hard mode. I have no hair left, so at least I got that to my advantage. Why detect the New York, New Jersey accent? I'm originally a Jersey boy, Jersey boy. I escaped to Florida. Yeah, yes sir. Born and raised in Queens. Yeah, born and raised in Queens. That's me. I get the Jersey one sometimes. I guess I can kind of hear it, but I don't really hear it because all I hear in me is Queens. But yeah, I'm a Queens kid. Oh shit. Sir, yeah, I had a friend who just moved to Florida. Oh God, I think it's been 5 years now since he moved down there. He was from Queens too, a Flushing kid, his whole life. Same building, same apartment. Never left that bitch until his mom passed. And then he took a job offer down in Florida. I think at one of the casinos down there. I forget which one exactly, but also, that's his business, TMI if anything, but he knows who he is. Yeah, he's been there like 5 years now. I mean, he's getting used to it. But yeah, he told me like a lot of New Yorkers down there already. Or it's nothing new, but a ton of New Yorkers been down already, and like they picked up on his accent right away. They even knew like, okay, you're a Queens guy, whatever. You got the Brooklyners, like former Brooklynites. Brooklynonians, whatever you want to call them. Brooklyn's its own universe. I'm not a fan of Brooklyn myself as a kid from Queens. That's just me. I like the people from Brooklyn. I don't love Brooklyn itself. Brooklyn has like a weird vibe. Off-putting, not so much like scary, but more like just, I never fuck with Brooklyn like that. I fuck with Williamsburg. It's beyond gentrified, so who would ever have a problem with Williamsburg besides the price of a smoothie out there or something? Or God forbid you want to eat something that's somewhat normal. I don't know if they still have it out there, but I meant to go there, but they had like a specialty, novelty, however you wanted to find it, like a hot dog place. It was like gourmet hot dogs, which, mystery meat, but we'll let them pretend. A fancy, glamour glizzies, if anything. But they would just put a ton of fancy condiments on top, so instead of regular, like, relish, my favorite mustard, I'm born like that. For chili, they would do imported pickles, finely chopped and diced. Like 3 different kinds of onions on one. I was reading through the menu. I never went. I never got around to it. I probably will during summer if they're still around. And some other shit, but I don't just, the gentrifiers, they always find a way to, like, take the old, make it new according to them, and make it pay the price. Triple most times. Oh, Lord, oh, shit. Center, balance, up is down is up. Okay. Oh, keep it middle, keep it steady, Fuck. No! Oh, shit. Okay. It's gonna go up, it's gonna go up. It's gonna go down. No! No, shit. Let's see. You see, catch up here. Even a lot of New York, New Jersey police have moved down here. It's funny when you see a cop. Hold on. It's funny when you see a cop down there and you expect a southern accent, but then they sound like they're from Bayonne, New Jersey. What convinced me to move down here was what I was paying for a really crappy downstairs one bedroom in New Jersey. I can imagine. I can get a 2,200 square foot house in Florida. Yeah. I've heard that since forever growing up. The two cousins I got down there, they left Queens. I think before I even turned 6, 7. They've been down there ever since, and they just, when they got a job individually, they moved into like their individual, like, not swanky, but like huge enough space, like basically their own space, their own roof over their head. They didn't have to share with nobody, a front and backyard, and even I think one of them had a pool because they had the better job. Not sure if you're aware, but that big silver ring you pass by is a checkpoint that will pretty much refill your shield. That's what it is. Okay, I don't even know what anything is. So the silver one's like a checkpoint. Okay, I definitely need that. So I don't got to start all over again. Whatever. I don't even know where I'm starting from the start, the middle, whatever. I'm just trying to get through as best I can. Damn it. I wouldn't do Florida only because this is me speaking. I'll visit. I wouldn't live there only because I don't like hot weather. And when I was younger, I think I went during Christmas, and it was a pleasant Christmas. At least it was warm. I was out there in like a t-shirt and shorts. But it was one of those you went directly. We went directly to our my uncle's house. And we didn't go anywhere beyond like wherever he drove us. Basically, my dad was a bum like that, so he just basically went down there for like a whole week, and I was basically held hostage in his house. I mean, my uncle was cool and all, like he was very nice, but accommodating. But we just stayed in that fucking house the whole time. Nice house, big house, but still, it's like, come on. I'm here for the first time in my life at a young age. You know, I'm trying to see bitches. You know, I'm at that age when, well, not there yet. I wasn't a teenager, but I appreciated girls from a very young age, very, very early on in life. So, God damn it. I'm there to see some bitches. We didn't even go to the beach. I think we went to the beach, but like really early in the morning, and it was chilly, surprisingly. And, yeah, wasn't worth it. So I like to go back on my own terms, probably later this year, to go see my friend down there. He's in Hollywood, I think, or wherever the casinos are, like one of the bigger. I think. Oh yeah, he works at the Hard Rock. There we go, the Broken Guitar Casino over there. So I definitely got to go visit him. I haven't gone once since he moved down there, but I think this year, maybe like wintertime, maybe we'll take a drive down there or whatever. Let's see. I'll definitely visit. I don't count that past trip as, you know, being down in Florida myself. Fuck, I missed that thing, whatever it was. Shoot blast. But I'm definitely down to visit Florida when I get a chance to do so. And again, hopefully this winter we will go ahead and do so. Me and the wife. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, going down to Florida. The penis-shaped state. I like to tease him about that. He's also one of those, like, he's a good friend, my friend from college, best friend ever since, and all that. We talk, I think, daily, text at least. But yeah, whenever he gets like a little uppity or, you know, up his own ass, like pretentious, oh, I left New York behind, whatever and shit. I remind him, you went to the state where it is moist, humid, and shaped like a dick, and you live near the tip. So of course, I'm not surprised you would have moved down there specifically to that region. You could have picked northern Florida, you could have picked central Florida, but no, you want to live on the tip. That's on you, brother. You gotta live with that. I'll visit you, but I won't stay. Fuck that. Ah, yellow! Fuck. Alright, who am I blasting? Who am I killing right now? Come on, I'm not gonna get that goddamn checkpoint. Oh, Peppy, my OG, please. My adopted father, Peppy, please, do something. I'm supposed to be your son, technically. My father asked you to care for me like I was your own. And you don't care, obviously. You're letting me fend for myself here. Might as well just be Fox the game. Fox McCloud the game. What Star Fox? What team, damn it? I'm out here on my own. Doing my dirt all by my lonely. My space dirt all by my lonely. This is horrible. Oh, twist. Barrel roll, damn it. Out of my way. Out of my way, damn it. I need to see Andros. It's time to see his big old monkey ass. And revoke his doctor's license. Where'd you get your degree from? What'd you get your degree in? Hmm? Come on. Out of my way. Oh! I don't know what that did. I always forget what the yellow rings do. I'm just out here blasting motherfuckers. I'll get you, damn it. Out of my face! No! Don't get in my face. Get out of my face. Fuck. Ah. No! I'm gonna die. Again. Ah, I missed the yellow ring again. Shit. What do you think going, stupid? Of course. Not only are you a pussy and a coward, you're a dummy. You're a disgrace to amphibians. I get being cold-blooded, but cold-brained? No use of it? Oh, I think, fuck, I might have dodged it. Oh, shit, I think, oh, fuck. Okay, I think I got it, yes, I did. Okay, action sequence, let me pause. 1 second, let's see here. Best time of year to visit is between September and November. That makes sense. Lots of really cool things to do at Disney Universal, their Halloween events, and the weather's in the mid-80s. I could tolerate mid-80s. We're in mid-June here, blazingly hot as usual, high 95, usually over 100 to 108. Yeah, he's been bitching about that a lot. You know, he's a coward, he's a cuck. He did that to himself when we're down there. But the other really cool stuff down here, like the low property tax, the ability to conceal carry without a permit, that is a plus. Big plus. Confidence in knowing the state will back you up if you protect yourself in your own home. Yeah, stand your ground. Hey, shout outs to that, definitely. It's a big thing. All that stuff supersedes the weather for me, and we're not even really talking about the cost of living, which is way lower here. Question, since you're obviously in Florida, and not that I don't trust my friend that lives in now close to 5 years, the no tax thing. Do they balance that out by? I think what he told me, you got to pay to like get access to beaches or parks. I remember him mentioning that, but it might have been a while ago, and I don't remember it like in good detail. Cause that is curious, but also I don't think people are going to the park or the beach the beach maybe every single day, but I wonder if that's the thing, how they kind of balance things out by not having you pay tax. I don't know. Honestly, I'm just so used to taxes every fucking paycheck and every which way you look. I owed again this year. So it's like, God forbid, you felt single, independent. I say my wife, and we're not married yet, we're engaged. God forbid you felt single, dependent, make like, according to the state of New York, a decent income, which it really ain't. You know, inflation and shit. God, every year somehow I owe back besides having a good chunk taken out of every fucking direct deposit every 2 weeks. No, I've never paid. I never had to pay to go to a beach in Florida, and I go to the most popular beaches in the country. I guess you meant county, but it's right. Indian Rock Beach, Clearwater Beach. I think he's mentioned Clearwater Beach. St. Petersburg, all of them are free. New Jersey, they hit you with a beach tax. Yeah, I remember. Beach permit, sometimes you need a beach wristband. Sometimes you feel like you have to grease the palm of everybody you meet just to get on the goddamn sand, basically. Also, we have something called a tax holiday for the 15 days here every year. Absolutely zero tax on anything except cars, people buy boats, guns. Oh, nice. Everything except, yeah. They had to get you some way, somehow with the cars, of course. They can't let you live comfortably with a car. Some way, somehow they get you. Yeah, yeah. Nice, that's cool. Nice, thanks for confirming that. I don't know what he was talking about, but I do remember him saying something of that sort, and that stuck out to me like, huh, maybe that's how they balance things out. They like subtly charge you for different little things or access to different, I don't know, you know, things you take for granted here, like parks and whatever the fuck else we got going on here. Dr. Andros, Dr. Andros majored in star system dominance and minored in the history of coercion and torture. Yeah, most likely. He's a goddamn bastard. He's a son of a bitch. He's conniving, he's cunning. He looks nothing like a monkey in his version of Star Fox. But we'll play along. I mean, simians, humans, close enough, damn it. If you believe in evolution, which absolutely Dr. Andros does, he's an intelligent ape. He's probably a big fanatic junkie of Planet of the Apes, which I don't think I ever watched the old ones, actually, matter of fact. Oh god, I'm dead. I only started watching the newer reboot. Is it a trilogy now? Or are there 4 movies? Whatever they are. The ones with the really good looking graphics, visual effects. All really good. Even that last one, Rise of the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, is never in the fucking title, the most recent one. No Caesar, of course, but still good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I don't remember the first 3 like that right now for whatever reason, but I know one of them was, they were all really good, but one was particularly good. I think War for the Planet of the Apes, the last one. Really sad. Really, all things monkeys making me feel bad. I've never been a fan of monkeys. Nothing against the animal. I know, there's some sort of relationship between us and them or whatever, but I don't know. I think I've always been turned off to monkeys ever since, and this is way after, but I think ever since I've seen like Bubbles, Michael Jackson's monkey. It just never felt right. Not so much like Michael's dressing up a monkey in like overalls and being a dickhead like that. I was a Michael fan. I liked him at least, and I don't believe he touched the kids. That's just me. It'd be hard to convince me he did, but I just never liked the concept of Bubbles a monkey. And I also, that's just missing. Nice. Stay down. Good. And then there was that whole story, that lady up in Connecticut that had her face ripped off by a pet chimpanzee, like completely ripped clean off her skull, they said, almost, and like picked away the head and like bit her fingers off and shit. Ever since then I was like, no thank you, never going near a monkey, a chimp, a gorilla, nothing like that. Even at the zoo. You told me, you point me in the direction of the monkeys and all them shits, like, no, I'm good. We got enough animals out here walking the streets, damn it. And that's not to be racial of any sorts. I'm just saying a lot of these people, you wonder who raised them, how they were raised, and if anyone even cared about them. Silver! Okay, good. Nice. Blast. Come on, blast, damn it. Die. Oh, God, not me. You. Okay. But yeah, that's me reconsidering primates in general, thanks to the Planet of the Apes. I really got a feel for those monkeys. I felt deeply for them. I felt bad for Caesar, severely misunderstood. Imagine being that advanced and deemed to be the bad guy, when really you're just a innocent enough primate. Fuck! Forgot the blast. Oh, shit. I was dead, ain't I? Clear the path. Here I come, damn it. No! What happened? No! Oh, shit. I'm not dead, right? Wing damage, of course. Oh, Jesus. 4 things I didn't need wing damage. It's prominence on display. I'm handicapped. I'm a disabled pilot. I'm navigating through space. I can't wait till we're flying around in space and we got the fat, overweight, disabled four-eyed, space captains. Give us all the attitude in the world. We ask for an extra bag of peanuts or something. Come on. I'll get you, motherfuckers. Damage wing and all. A stub of a wing and all. I'll get you, goddammit. No! Someone give me a life, damn it. Someone give me a bonus life. I've earned it. Come on, look at me. I'm pushing through still. Give me credit, damn it. Come on. Let me get in the back door. Stop being a hoe. Fuck me. Oh shit, no. No, I'm dead. I'm already fucking dead going into this thing if I even make it to the boss here. Fuck. Of course. Damn it. We let Andros have it. I gave it to him on a silver platter. Like a banana. He would be sipping on banana. He'd be one of those annoying fucks that go with everything banana thing possible. Let me get a banana daiquiri. Let me get a banana split. Let me get a banana shake. If you have a daiquiri or you need a shake. Listen, it's been a rough week. You don't take over the galaxy and not need something to wind down with. So a banana daiquiri, banana smoothie, and banana, banana plantains. Probably done by a Puerto Rican monkey or something like that. If Puerto Rico even has monkeys, I don't know. Yeah, that reminds me, it's been a while since I had plantains or maduros. I don't know how to make them, but I'm going to try to learn how to make each one. Should be easy. Oh. They balance it out by actually balancing the budget and not being total corrupt pieces of shit. If you're down here for a few months, the first thing you'll notice is the road projects actually get finished quickly. Wow, okay, that is impressive. They built a brand new exit near me in like 8 months, and that was even during COVID. Nice, okay. And of course, with every state, there's problems. You live in Hillsborough County, which is somewhat blue. They have a huge surplus in our budget. Like the rest of the state, the mayor of Tampa decided to spend it on this silly light system on one of the expressways. Supposed to change color and look nice. It broke in like a month. Yeah, so like a cosmetic enhancement, I guess, for the expressway. Oh, don't tell me. Oh, God, don't tell me, like, further down the tube, they might have planned on doing, like, Pride Month coloring for that shit. If it had survived, but it only lasted a month. After everything that's come out about Hollywood, I don't believe he did anything either. I believe he was genuine, and they hated him for it, so he tried to make them what they were. Michael Jackson, I mean. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely buy into the, I mean, there's so many conspiracies with Michael. Him buying up Sony and a whole bunch of catalogs would have made him too prominent, too dominant, so of course they had to chip away at him some way, somehow. I always loved the one of him owning Eminem's discography or catalog, just buying the rights up like immediately, just because Eminem made fun of him in that one video, terribly made fun of him in that one video. I'm one of those. I don't know if you're into hip hop or not, but Eminem early on, like the early stuff, first album, even like the Slim Shady LP, the Marshall Mathers LP is my favorite album. I love them up until that point. Even the Eminem show I can tolerate, but yeah, he got to be like trash afterwards. Like not trash, but like not what he used to be, not what he was able to offer had he just stayed outside of the gimmick instead of buying so much into being Slim Shady and crazy and scandalous and shock jockey in the videos and shit. That video when, what was that, Go Crazy, something like that, where he made fun of Michael reenacting the burning hair and shit. It wasn't like I'm a fan of Michael, I'm so offended at that. It was just like, that's really like lame, lowball, no effort made into your comedy. And just like Eminem always does, he always picked on the easiest targets, the boy bands, the girl singers, Michael Jackson, Elton John, and all that shit. Whenever he was like motivated enough to do so, yeah, he'd go after Benzino. But then who doesn't go after Benzino? Well, he'd go after, Ja Rule, but who hasn't gone after Ja Rule? I'm not saying he's a pussy either, but it's like he knows who to make fun of, who to pick on, like openly, blatantly instigate like that. And he knew who to retort against. But then again, he, of all people, he dissed Trump during one of those BET freestyles with like very weak punchlines. Not that I'm a Trump supporter, nothing, but just like, if you're gonna make it blatant that you're against a guy, first off, no one cares about Eminem enough to ask him politically where he stands, and no one should ever fucking ask him where he stands politically, because then you gotta label him. Is he a blue Eminem? Is he a red Eminem? I kid, of course. No one cares. But then Eminem just his catalog getting bought up by Michael was always one of my favorite conspiracy theories. I really hope that is true. If I do enough research, will probably prove it is. But I always loved that about him. But yeah, I never bought into Michael touching the kids. Not that it couldn't have happened. And again, not as a Michael defender. Or, I love Prince more than Michael, artistically speaking. Rest in peace, Prince. Michael, I grew to love over time. I really love more the album cuts more than the hits. But then, Michael was Michael. He was inevitable. But I never bought into the kids part just because his upbringing, Joe Jackson, didn't get to live a proper childhood. That would lead you to being an old man, like not old, like uncle, but like older and disgruntled emotionally, not being able to live out like how a kid should and probably would have had he been afforded a childhood. Was it weird sleeping with other kids that ain't yours in the same bed? Yeah, that's definitely weird. If I found about that, maybe I wouldn't necessarily accuse him of that shit, but I would be like, you're not going back there. You're not sleeping with a grown-ass man in his bed just because he's, hey, why don't you come be under the covers? We can play footsie, but not do anything else, allegedly. Everything's alleged. Everything's a lie. Everybody's stupid. Whatever he used to say. And I was turned off to monkeys, chimpanzees for some reason. Bubbles and Overall, I think ruined the fantasy of like being cool with a monkey or something like that. But then again, one of my favorite episodes of Seinfeld is when Kramer has the beef with the little chimpanzee in the cage. The premise was so stupid, but it's like hilarious because he was able to Kramer just being Kramer basically. I love that episode. Ooh, let's not hurt the poor little monkey's feelings. If you're ever down by the Jersey Shore, which I know you and New Yorkers love to do the best Italian restaurant I've ever been to in my life, Point Pleasant, New Jersey. It's called Spanos. You get a seat by reservation only, by phone only, connected joint, but amazing food. Ooh, okay, definitely. All right. I gotta remember that then. So Point Pleasant, I don't think I've ever been, but I definitely heard of it. Okay, nice. I'm definitely looking to go to Jersey at least a couple times this year too. I don't love Jersey. I mean, I love driving through it, to be honest, to avoid it best I can. But I've been to Atlantic City. It was fun way back. Like, oh God. I actually didn't like that trip at all because we went there for a friend's bachelor party. We're still friends, but I'm not with most of the circle of friends we went with. One friend in particular that we had in common, because he insisted on doing the thing where we get a hotel room, like 10 guys, all that end up going as a part of his bachelor party to the club, whatever they had downstairs at that hotel. I forget which one it was, where the type where they have you pay like, I think back then it was like $1,200 a bottle of whatever fancy brand label it was of liquor, which you drive, I don't know, 10 minutes that way. You could probably get it for like its actual price. So like, I don't know, $50, $100 or something like that. I was turned off by that, and I said, guys, I'm sorry to be that guy, but I'll just go back up to the room in that case. I'm not chipping in for fucking, even if there is 10 of us, I'm not chipping in for $1,200 worth of fucking liquor. That's like, I can't write that off my taxes. I'd feel stupid, like, even paying a penny for that shit. But yeah, otherwise it was a fun time. Got to gamble a little bit, as one does in Atlantic City. I forget what time of year we went, but we didn't go to the boardwalk, I think. No, I went on my own afterwards with my ex, like some years after that, and it was pretty fun in the boardwalk when apparently the boardwalk was still like, you know, occupied by humans mostly, at least during the daytime. I've heard ever since, nothing desirable. Exactly, Amira Tampa is super rainbow friendly, but she's also a former police chief, so she's not all bad. And that's fine. I mean, I got nothing against, Pride Month or anything like that. It's not offensive to me because I don't celebrate it. Not that I'm against it. It's just, you can't escape it either. It's all over the place. Like, it's like the finer little details of them going that far to like make it like, hey, it's Pride Month, it's June, whatever. Due to the fact they took over that month, like, it's the start of summer, I guess you could say. We forgot all about that shit. That shit went all out the window. Little things like them putting the pride flag on like the back of a bench on the park across the street from me. That doesn't bother me. But then I also, it's one of my favorite benches to go to, like, when I'm coming back from shopping. I like to sit there just like, take a little 5-minute breather, just like, not breathe like a, but more like just, take a little quick break, take in the scenes, the sun and all that shit. But with that little pride flag there, I don't want to be loosely associated with whatever the fuck that entitles, Maybe it's stupid, maybe it's just me, but still, I don't feel like, you never know who's taking a picture, recording something, or just throwing up a random picture, fucking, you're in it and you're tagged, geo-placed and all that, geo-located and whatever, and then all of a sudden you got a pride flag, say, oh, I knew it, whatever, something like that. We all got haters, even me, on a lesser scale. Oh, nice, you're into Nine Inch Nails, Metallica, Megadeth. I still got to get into Megadeth. Metallica I know fairly well, the early stuff at least. What was my... Damn, I don't remember offhand what my favorite album was. I know it's probably the go-to, but I'd say probably Master of Puppets. Although I like the Cowbell album too a lot. Saint Anger. I actually do like that one. Not their best, I know, but I always love that everybody calls it just the Cowbell album because it really is so heavy on it. But that Saint Anger, the lead single, I love that when it premiered. It was my song for a good while. And Metallica, I love their cover, Turn the Page. I'd say it's one of those rare instances where the cover outdoes the original. Still got to get into Megadeth. I still got to get into Nine Inch Nails too. My dad was an animal behavior, so he ran a kennel. Oh, nice. Gorillas and monkeys are very close to humans in how we behave. You should check out the relationship Robin Williams had with a gorilla. Oh, yeah, Coco, I think, right? Yeah, I remember that. Very touching. And R.I.P. Robin Williams. The gorilla went into mourning when, mourning with a U. When she found out Robin died. Point Pleasant, just a few minutes south of Seaside Heights, the famous boardwalk from Jersey Shore show. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, okay, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, because I know I definitely heard Point Pleasant plenty of times. All right, so that's not far from there. Yeah, cabs are here. I'm sure you weren't happy about that show taking off the way it did. It was a very guilty pleasure during that time that Jersey Shore took over the world. Snooki at fucking WrestleMania of all things. But, which, Snooki is a whole thing as far as like, yeah, I know she was adopted. She wasn't genuinely Italian. I think most of them weren't even Italian or like half, quarter, whatever at best. Who was the one that was only Italian? I think, not Ronnie. I think he was half. He was like Cuban and something else, but could pass for Italian. I think the only full Italian was Vinny, right? Oddly enough, Staten Island. His face is absolutely 1,000% Italian. The eyebrow structure, the nose, no offense, whatever. But him and I think not the one with the tits, the tall one. The Sammy, I think her name was. She always had a tan. I think she was the one with Ronnie. I think she might have been the other one. No. Maybe not her either. There was another one that came afterwards that I kind of like because she was thick, curly haired, really sounded Italian. She couldn't escape it. I think she might have been the only other like full-blooded or 100% whatever the fuck. Yeah, it was a very guilty, toxic pleasure to indulge into Jersey Shore. but good for them. I mean, Paulie D is still DJing, I think, or making music, or has a career somehow. And Vinny got into comedy, you know, the one that would speak absolutely nothing on the show, still bag bitches, but now he's a comedian. And I've tried to sit through his stuff, and honestly, it's not for me. I don't think he's funny. He's trying. God bless him. Seems like a good guy, but comedy's not his realm. He's just stick to the tired and true. I have a podcast because I used to be on a reality show, and people would tune in regardless for that, and they can deem him funny in that sense. But actually going on stage telling jokes, I've watched, not his forte. Seems like a good guy though. That's cool though. Animal behaviorist. I wanted to be a veterinarian when I was younger. But then I saw all the stuff involved to become one, and I said, no way, I'm too dumb for that shit. No one wants to be associated with that crap if you're not into it, of course. Also, a big Fear Factory fan if you listen to them at all. I've never heard of them, actually. Fear Factory. I read that. I was thinking Fear Factor, the show. But I never heard of Fear Factory. It was a terrible show, made us NJ Italians look bad. Yeah, exactly. At your expense, of course. The guy from, I'm going to butcher this, Manalapan, was 100% Italian. I don't remember his name. I don't know who you're talking about, actually. But yeah, Jersey Shore was a guilty pleasure. I mean, you couldn't escape it. It was everywhere. It was really toxic, too. I mean, was it season 1 or one of those where, like, I think it was Ronnie, like, punched a girl out? Like, legit. And they just happened, of course, to have cameras everywhere, but they had, like, the perfect angle where they caught it. Of course, they blurred out the actual impact, but there was that. I'm sure they got B-roll plenty of, like, them fucking, they'd probably whisper in their ear, hey, guys, take the sheet off, you know, this would be a selling point for the DVD, bonus footage, uncensored shit, whatever. I'm sure they got plenty of that shit, like, tucked away. Somebody's still jerking off to that, probably. I mean, the girls weren't bad. Oh, Michael Sorrentino. Oh, what's his name? I think he was, God damn it, the most annoying one, the one obsessed with the gym and his abs. The Situation, I think. Yeah, there we go, Situation. Yeah, his ass. I forgot what happened. I think, didn't he go to rehab or something afterwards, or I don't know. He like deflated afterwards and shit. I never wished foul on him, but he was like the loudest one in the room, if possible, amongst all of them. And at least he made a career out of it too. But I always liked Paulie D. Paulie D seemed like, you know, class clown energy, just like fun going, fun loving and shit. So good for him. He's still doing his thing. I think as a DJ, artist of some sorts. Like I said, Vinny's still doing whatever he feels like doing pretty much. But good for him. I like Vinny too. He was always like kind of low key, just like, you know, I'm just here for the vibes kind of thing. I don't know what the rest of them are doing. The tall one that wasn't even Italian, I think she was mostly Irish or something. Jen something, I think. She was hot. I wouldn't say she was pretty. She was just, you know, tall, big tits, not too bad of a tan job. Sammy, I think the one that was with Ronnie was a cute one. And Snooki was attractive with God knows who or why, but, you know, an easy bag, of course, in that sense. But not to talk foul about her, but, you know, I that's a whole thing, me being Spanish, me being Latino specifically, like just that identity crisis. Not so much with me. Like, I know what I am. It's just I get looked at funny when I talk in Spanish just because I have my accent, which is, you know, predominantly New York one. So when I speak in Spanish, I can speak grammatically just fine, but they look at you funny like you're doing it on purpose. And I swear on everything I'm not. It's just, I learned English first. I watched all my cartoons, wrestling in English first. So then I learned Spanish afterwards from home, poorly from my mother. And then eventually in school I had to learn Spanish, which, you know, they thought I knew it already, you know, racist, you know, whatever. But I had to prove to them I didn't know shit. And that's when I finally learned proper Spanish, grammatically speaking, like in high school. This really strict, of all things, German teacher raised in Spain really beat the Spanish into us and make sure we learned it, especially those of us that were Latino. He was really hard on us, pause, but I appreciate him for that because I was able to really benefit from it learning Spanish, probably. Reading, writing, speaking, all that. I only watched 1 or 2 episodes of it. I just remember being really confused because Michael and the rest of the house were arguing over surf and turf night. And I remember thinking, how could you be upset with lobster and steak cooking? It's either or. I mean, I'm not a lobster guy. I tried it a couple of times, gave it a couple of chances, just not for me. My fiance's obsessed with lobster. Tamir mentioned she starts drooling at the mouth, like looking up menus on Grubhub and shit. I'm a steak guy. Yeah, I don't do surf and turf. It's just not for me. I don't really do fish anyways. I just do like at most. I do like fried shrimp and salmon. I like salmon almost in any way possible. I like making salmon in the oven, baking it a bit with some butter on top, some lemon, some appropriate amount of condiments and shit, spices and all that. And I'm good with that. But yeah, besides that, I don't really venture too far into the ocean as far as like anything from the sea going into my mouth like that. Seafood, that old gag. Lobster has a fascinating history. It actually used to be considered prison food because they considered lobsters giant underwater bugs, which they look like and they've always have been. But okay, I mean, society will make you think otherwise. Somewhere along the line, it became a delicacy. Used to be prison food. You know, that's interesting because the whole process having to like bust open the lobster, the tail, the claws and shit, just to get to the meat. And then you gotta take the meat, you gotta dip it in the butter or whatever they give you to go with the lobster meat and shit. It's a process. It's tedious, and I would feel like I was in prison having to fucking do all that just to eat. So I wonder where exactly lobster was prison food originally. Because yeah, they are underwater bugs, aren't they? They're part of that family, right? So I never saw the fixation or fascination with lobster. Again, I tried it. At least I tried it, and I know I don't like it, the taste of at least. And I don't like bugs. I'm not a fan of insects, you know. Being from New York, unfortunately, you know, you gotta deal eventually with roaches at some point in your life, which is never fun. Like, I don't panic when I see roaches, but I just get like really agitated and I want to kill it immediately. Thank God I never lived nowhere. At least in New York, we don't have the huge ones like the fat water bugs, I think. I've seen them other places before, but never, thank God, where I lived in any of the apartments I lived in. I've always had the smaller ones that are like kind of slip in here and there through the crevices and shit. But as soon as I would see one, I just destroyed as immediately. Even up here too, like as soon as the ants I leave alone. They're tiny, they're inoffensive, they're kind of all over the place, but not too bad. So I just kind of like, I pick them up gently, place them somewhere else, leave it at that. Let them live a little bit. I looked it up, and lobster was used as prison food in colonial America. They actually had a revolt during the Revolutionary War from British prisoners of war who were forced to eat lobster. Ooh, excuse me. Huh. Colonial America, so potentially that means what? George Washington and all them, the OGs of this country. You know, and by the way, happy birthday, America, coming up 250th. Despite what goes on in the world, come on. Undoubtedly, we live in the best country, arguably, on the planet because of the freedom we get to do with ourselves in our free time. Look what the fuck I'm doing. On a lesser scale, I'm not known at all. Basically, I'm trying to build up towards that, but look at the people making whole livings off of doing this shit and whatever on the internet. You can't really do that other places in the world still. Not saying you can't do that like in China. They got their own universe over there, but there's still so many countries that don't adapt to this, have no idea how it works, or don't allow it. So that means George Washington, with his wooden ass teeth, could still chew through some lobster meat. Would probably get pissed off at the thought of it because he would openly state, that's for the prisoners, that's for the fucking Brits that we've captured and enslaved to teach them a lesson about, you know, democracy and freedom, right? Feed it to them. How dare you even offer me that shit? And that's what you had as your grub in prison back when. And it was actually a revolt during the Revolutionary War from the British prisoner of wars who were forced to eat lobster. So, yeah, Not just prison food, but just, yeah. That is, I'm going to look that up some more. I might have to turn that into an episode. I mean, besides the streams too, I do like 2 podcasts on a weekly basis. One movie review, one just like blabbing, talking shit, whatever, about random little things. Nonsensical, basically. That's the way I can define it. But yeah, I'd have to look into that a little more, just to, So if anything, we can start a movement. Those of us that agree, hey, I don't like lobster meat. I have my reasons why, but now I understand why I don't. I sympathize, I empathize, I have a direct connection, maybe not bloodline wise, but god damn it, if George Washington was too good for lobster, so am I. Why not? We could start a movement, a whole community, a whole, at least Reddit, dedicated to just, I hate lobster. One of my favorite things to do on Reddit is, and I'm grateful I've joined that community because it's a lot of fun. It's absurd in the utmost, but I love the Reddit community. I hate ketchup because I do hate ketchup. I'll eat tomatoes till I'm shaped like a tomato because I've indulged in so many. You know, the Roma and the what are the other ones called? The Roma, the beef chuck, beef steak, whatever tomatoes, the cherry tomatoes, all kinds of tomatoes. Give me the tomatoes. I'll go to town on them. When you bring up ketchup, though, I'm turned off. I don't want to do it. Maybe because I've had the struggle before, like, maybe it's like from a dormant memory that's associated with like poverty. I don't know, like growing up doing that thing where you had to do like rice and ketchup packets. Or if we were being fancy, or if we got lucky, we do ketchup and hot sauce, or I do mostly hot sauce, not so much ketchup. On that Wu-Tang shit, I think Method Man talked about that at some point. When he brought that up, I thought, oh shit, that's not so unique to me then, which it really wasn't. That's you know, that's really me being an asshole thinking that was exclusive to me and my mother, whatever, growing up. But okay, when I found out that was a pretty common thing when you were broke, growing up like that, okay, cool. I don't know, ever since then, I just never liked ketchup. I still don't like ketchup. I don't like the fancy ketchup. I'll tolerate ketchup mixed with mayo. But even that's like kind of drawing the line. Like if I have the option to mix them both, I just say, just give me mayo. No ketchup, please. You even take the bottle of ketchup off the table if I go out to eat somewhere. I don't want to see it. Not that I won't, I'll be tempted by it. I just keep it away. No tomato jizz for me, please. AKA ketchup. Absolutely not, damn it. I am in no need or desire of ketchup. But yeah, that's one of the perks of Reddit, at least, you know. A majority of it is like Twitter on steroids in terms of the toxicity and just people, you know, blinded by their own opinions and thoughts on things. But there are the fun little, you know, pockets of Reddit where you find stuff like really silly like that. And also, it's been a while since I blindly trusted Google for anything. I end up going to Reddit a lot of times and finding out how to fix things, how to do things, like setup for the streams and other things I do. Too much of anything is a bad thing. Yeah, absolutely. It's indulgence, gluttony, yeah. Too much of it. I mean, look at living proof of that is what? The obese people we got? Are we still leading the world in obesity? No, I think we might still be, but there's definitely a lot of places surprisingly catching up. I think I heard the other day, was it Turkey? Somewhere around there, one of them countries around that part of the world. Turkey, I think, was like actually very high in terms of obesity rates. Which is surprising because, I mean, I would think Turkey was like, since it's half Europe, half Asia, I think the last thing they would ever struggle with is like being fat or having too much food and indulge like that. But apparently, whatever they use to cook up their food is like one of the main problems. It's really fascinating. I feel bad, you know, I hate seeing obesity, me being a fat kid myself and having lost the weight ever since and trying to really keep it off as best I can. Diet, exercise, all that helps, obviously. It's really a sad state of affairs to see something as stupid as being too fat for your own good is potentially the leading cause of death in so many parts of the world, especially here too. I mean, my 1,000-pound life, my twins 2,000 pounds put together and shit, that's like a popular thing to watch, which, you know, it's kind of like how you were with Jersey Shore. I wouldn't dare watch any of that shit because I know what it's like to be fat and uncomfortable being fat, and the last thing I ever want to be is like reminded of what it's like. But then these people seem to just buy into the gimmick of being fat because I guess that's the thing they did best with their life is get fat. But yeah, I can't buy into that stuff. It's not so much it makes you sad; it just gets me mad that like, or no, the show I really hate is Teen Mom, whatever it's called on MTV, because by season 2 or 3, there were girls purposely getting pregnant just to be on that shit for one episode, and I think they even started splitting up like 2 girls an episode because they had that many they had to go to like that, which is really fucking pathetic. That was a sad state of affairs to see that like dawn upon us, and they're just MTV openly promoting that shit. By that time, MTV was just basically reality shows, and like music videos were on after like 1 a.m. in the morning during the week. I just disappointed myself. I looked up the British prisoner of war revolt, and it's mostly a myth. But they fed lobsters to orphans, slaves, and prisoners because back then it was really hard to preserve for long periods of time. So it was considered basically worthless. It was also extremely abundant at the time. Which makes sense, but then, well, the really interesting thing to find out would be who cracked open the first lobster that wasn't like immediately terrified. A gigantic water spider, basically, right? With these humongous fucking claws that can, like, I don't know if it'll cut through you, but at least pinch the shit out of you, right? Who got the idea, the incentive to, like, bust open the first lobster's ass to discover meat, pull it apart, taste it on sight, and determine, oh, you know what, if we cook this a little bit, or put some butter or lard, whatever they were using back when, this could probably work. And then it probably wasn't that great anyways, and they said, you know what, at least we can save some of a budget food-wise and just give this to the prisoners. I found some more. We just crack them like this. We bash them with little hammers and shit. They got some meat in them. Just give them to the fucking prisoners. I would imagine with somebody who was starving. Yeah, it had to be somebody who was starving. But then, yeah, to get over the fact that you're looking at a giant water spider or bug, whatever the fuck they're deemed, to bust it open, crack the ass, see if you can work around the claws and shit. And then they figured out, okay, what about if we boil them? What about if we just, eat them raw like that? Cook the meat with however you do lobster, basically. Prisoners, orphans, and slaves. And they had abundance of lobsters back then. That is fascinating. I'm definitely going to be looking that up tomorrow as well. Thank you for that, for pointing that out. Lobster 101, basically. The deep, dark history of lobster. It's not as glamorous as it's made out to be nowadays, because I still don't see the fixation with lobster. That's just me, though. Yeah, it's never been for me, lobster. I don't know. You give me lobster and steak, I'm taking steak, and you can take the lobster, take it home with you, feed it to your orphan, feed it to your fucking poor and domestically challenged / homeless, whatever. Maybe they'll take it. I never got the fixation, but that is interesting though. When did the, no pun intended, tides turn for lobster from going from prison grub way back when to all of a sudden becoming a delicacy now? Well, is it really because it's really served up like that in places to eat, but then you also got them at the supermarket like that? And I haven't looked at the prices recently, but I've also never been tempted to look at the lobster. It's like kind of weird because it's like a living thing, even though it's a big ass water bug kind of looking at you, chasing you in the tank, before the inevitable happens and it gets deep fried or boiled or whatever you do with lobsters. I don't know. But yeah, that is something worth looking into, lobsters. In the 20s and 30s, it became a delicacy. What was going on in the 20s? What was barely going on? Why is the internet like in and out? What was going on in the 20s and 30s? Right. Great Depression. Well, out of it, I guess. But I guess bouncing back from a Great Depression like that, yeah, would have probably taken a while. Would have had like lingering effects. to the point where they said, hey, you know what we used to do back when for the prisoners, which might still be good for us if we, like, you know, fancy it up or cook it well enough? Lobster. Lobster. My great-grandfather died in prison being fed spoon after spoonful of lobster. How dare you even imply that? No, let's try it out. Different recipes, different varieties and versions of it. Why not? Then I guess you're so poor at that point, maybe still too. Yeah, definitely. But why not give in to what's readily available? Buy the plenty. And after World War II, it was firmly cemented as a luxury food item, at least according to the internet. Well, you know, you gotta take the internet with a grain of salt, obviously. I guess way less than the salt you would need to put onto a lobster to make it taste decent, at least. There is ChatGPT also. Maybe I'll have a deep discussion with ChatGPT later on tonight before I go to bed. Well, later on this morning before I go to bed. And then there's work, of course, to do. And ask about lobster. Poke and prod about the history of lobster. And then definitely put some notes together and see if maybe that'll be an episode or something like that. That is interesting. How did lobster get glammed up like that? Because it's almost like the Kim Kardashian glow up on a much lesser scale, and, you know, trying to link that together, because if she started out, all right, well, she was already from a privileged family, Robert Kardashian, of course, but otherwise would have never been known on her own just for being the daughter of Robert Kardashian, because, rest in peace, of course, obviously, he's been long dead, but who gives a shit about Robert Kardashian in the first place, let alone his daughters? Then she got pop. She was besties with Paris Hilton. Then she made the quick switch up to doing a sex tape of all things. But how do you even mastermind a sex tape to work in your favor? Especially when you're nobody. But then she leached off of Ray J's fame, which he was barely anybody. He was Brandy's brother, basically, with a couple of hits, a decent voice. But if anything, I'm not saying Brandy's ugly. She was, ooh, man, back when, in the day, body-wise and all that, she was, man, she had it going on. But Ray J does look a lot like Brandy. A less Asiatic eyes, but, you know, cut her hair short, put on a cheap little goatee like he's got going on, and basically they're twinning, almost, kind of, sort of. But then she gets a sex tape going with Ray J. He stays about the same and or at least gets fame dick-wise for having a BBC like that, proven. Unfortunately, I've had to see that first, well, not firsthand, but I mean, like, via the sex tape itself. And she was a boring fuck. She was just laying there like a fish, basically, like a lobster, basically, just laying there. If that's even how lobsters mate, who knows? There's probably nothing much going on. Maybe they, like, interlock claws or something like that, who knows? But she's the one that really benefited from that shit. And I'd hate to think the mom was the one that masterminded that shit. Because Kim wasn't doing that on her own. I mean, Kim's been able to maintain her fame herself because of her looks primarily, number one. Yeah. But then the lobster kind of did the same thing. Right? Because who was thinking of lobsters like that besides, you know, the prisoners who had to be force-fed lobsters back when, up until the 30s, and all of a sudden the whole turnaround where, just like Kim Kardashian, there's a whole rebranding, glow up. It's a delicacy. It's highly coveted. It's like, to even stand near Kim, you gotta pay a fee or something like that. I think I've seen people sell on eBay like bags of air that was, you know, that came out the lungs of Kim at some point, or like one of her farts down the red carpet galas, like, got bagged up and sold on eBay at some point too. I mean, she was a piece of ass though when she first. I liked her before she blew up like that, when she was still like Paris Hilton's best friend. When she looked really Armenian, because the ass was fat, the face and the features was really Armenian. They're beautiful women over there, Armenia and Albania too. Man, but that to me was peak Kim, right before she blew up, before the sex tape, or even during sex tape, that era Kim. Even a little afterwards too, like her first Playboy spread, I'd say she was peak. But then after that, she started doing too much face contouring and shaving down bones and taking out ribs, and then for some reason her ass was just like enormous, like the bottom half of like a queen bee or something. Then it narrowed out. And there's always that one. There's always that one picture of when she was still married to Kanye, or Ye, and they're walking down the stairs. You only see them from the back. Kim's got this humongous, that's in her like humongous ass era, where the rest of her is skinny, but her ass is just like wide, barely squeezing through hallways. And he's got his ass, he's got his hand over her ass. And that looked like, you'd almost think like Kanye had like a baby hand. That thing was so tiny in comparison to how humongous her ass was. I'm into Ukrainian and women from Spain. Oh boy. Yeah. Ukrainians, yeah, definitely some real beauties out there. I would know because my fiance, she's not Ukrainian, but she's Belarusian. So they're like pretty much neighbors, close enough in proximity. So yeah, some real beauties over there. Real, especially like for me, I'm a sucker for like the brunette and bright-eyed, light-eyed combo. I love that. Had a nice body underneath. You know, you don't need to be a model or like bone thin, painfully thin like that either. But I like some meat on my women. And from that region, that part of the world, they got that nice balance. They got some meat on the frame. Nothing to complain about. Nothing lacking from the back. Or just like, dried up from the front, whatever. Yeah, really nice over there. Spain's underrated. Spain is so underrated. I hate the accent. Being that I speak Spanish and I can understand them, I hate the accent, and they're, for the most part, unintelligible. It's that bad sometimes, but yeah, they got some nice ones out there. Who was I thinking of right now? What region? What country? Who else? Brazilians are real nice. They kind of run a majority of the color spectrum. Light skin, blonde, blue, green, hazel eyes, whatever, down to the ones that are like darker skin, curly hair. More what you would imagine when you hear Brazil, but just both of them, both ends of the scale, just beautiful. Where else was I thinking of? Cuba. Cuba's got some really good looking women. God, that country's going to shit. It's been going to shit for like over, half a century now. Half a century now, give or take. And in Armas, I think that's the best example right now, like just Cubans being the epitome of beauty. I don't know if I'd say she's the most beautiful right now, but I would definitely put her in my top 3 beauty-wise alone. Just those fucking eyes are insane. Let's see. Cuba for sure. A lot of Cuban girls down here in Florida. Yeah, definitely. They, that's their playing ground. That's their territory down there in Florida. The Cubans, the Cubanas. And a lot of them are very pro. Yeah, how could they not be? Considering, what's left of Cuba for the longest time. I was watching, I forget who exactly. I forget where the video originated from, but I was watching Asmongold the other day. I love him, big fan of him now. Just fairly new to him, but love Asmongold. He was watching a video on some guy that went to Cuba with a press pass, basically. Barely lasted a day there before he had to like smuggle himself out because he was like public enemy number 1, because he's like white with cameras, shining a light on the horrendous state of affairs in Cuba. How could you not want to fucking leave that place after seeing that, hearing that, like what they've been doing to it forever? So, yeah, Cuba's crazy. I would love to go, but under these circumstances, I think I'll pass. I think I'll just live with the illusion of what would it be like in Cuba, stumbling upon a absolutely knockout, just stunning beauty that can barely speak anything beyond Spanish. Just bring her over here, in another life, of course. I love my fiance. In another life, bring her over here, teach her the language, teach her the ways of the land of the free and the home of the brave, and hope to God that she doesn't learn enough English to leave me one day. God damn it. And do better than me. Find a sugar daddy. Something like that. Who knows? Asmongold rocks. I don't agree with everything he says, but he's pretty spot on with most. Yeah, absolutely. I don't think I've ever overly disagreed with anything he said till now. I'm not blindly into like everything he says. Like he's the authority figure. No, but I like his take on just about everything. I like his reactions, mostly to a lot of dumb shit. His gameplay too. I like watching him play games. Pretty cool. Yeah, I'm still fairly new to him. Like I'm only months into like stumbling upon him, then just going down like a rabbit hole, watching video after video. I don't know how the guy does it. He has like at least 10 videos up a day, all clipped from the stream itself. But you know, kudos to him. Definitely big fan of his. Definitely big fan of Queso also. Love Queso. He is hilarious without even trying. I love that he's in on the joke of how fat he is, obviously, but he just plays around with like, look at how skinny I am, chat. Despite how big he is, and the fact that he's wholesome, no cursing, no nothing, and he's as funny as he is, genuinely, like, kudos to him on that. I love Queso. Love Queso. Reminds me of Jerry Seinfeld, you know. I mean, he's cursed eventually. It's not like he never ever cursed ever, but yeah, Jerry's been clean his whole life in terms of the comedy. So yeah, definitely check out Queso. He's hilarious. He's I think the YouTube Shorts is flooded with people just taking shit from his stream, reacting to like his favorite foods, desserts. He's got like super, I think on purpose, of course, it's probably part of the act. Really weird food takes. It's hilarious to watch. Just Queso reacts. Most likely you'll see like food comparisons, food tier lists, and he just the way he'll cry over his favorite food, like not being a thing anymore, like the Taco Bell steakhouse burrito, which really was fucking good when it was a thing. Oh yeah, what was a thing that I miss food wise? I love that they brought the snack wrap back, at least McDonald's. That was fun to have back. Well, it is back. It's not like it was a limited time thing and it's gone again. No, it was of the wraps, surprisingly. I remember, yeah, yep, you got the spelling right, queso. Of the wraps now, that's a thing. Just like chicken sandwiches were a thing during the pandemic, and Popeyes, you know, undoubtedly the best chicken sandwich, in my opinion at least. Especially the spicy bacon and cheese chicken sandwich. That's, oof, forget it right there. That's everything. Of the wraps now, especially chicken wraps. That's the thing now with the restaurants. Wendy's and fucking Popeyes. And, of course, thanks to the snack wrap from McDonald's and Burger King's got theirs. I would say the snack wrap is still the best one because it's still the biggest, as in you pay for what you get, which is what you wanted. With the snack wrap being back, it's a decent size. The taste ain't great, especially with the spicy one. The spicy one tastes a little weird. I like spicy, but it's barely spicy. It's kind of like that aftertaste spicy that hits you after you're done with the whole thing, like a little tingle. But it doesn't taste great. The ranch is still a better one. And then I think they have a grilled version. I never liked that one. I always like the fried chicken one. And then the one that was fucking highway robbery of all things, of all places, based off solely, mainly chicken. That's their whole gimmick, is fucking Popeyes. Small, more expensive. Wolf 3 down, it feels like, in comparison, you barely get through one McDonald's snack wrap and you're already done with 3 Popeyes chicken wraps. I don't remember the Burger King ones. I think, if I can't remember how it tasted, it wasn't that memorable. And then who else had a fucking chicken wrap of all places? I think Taco Bell has one. I haven't tried it yet, though. I think they have one. Yeah, but I guess now chicken wraps are the thing since the snack wrap came back. But, yeah, the snack wrap don't taste the way it did before, though. I remember it, for some reason, tasting better. That might just be me. I don't know. Finally remembering the snack wrap. But crazy to think that had its comeback. It's long awaited return. It debuted. We got it, and now we just take it for granted. But then again, I think because I also seen a bunch of videos where people like had their first reactions to it, or like the first bite, first taste, and like it was mostly a lot of lettuce, it was a lot of fucking mayo on it, whatever sauce they put on it instead of chicken, or they forgot to cut up the chicken in some of them too. Thank God the ones I've been to, everything's kind of balanced out. You get a majority chicken, you get some lettuce, some cheese, and then, you know, the sauce or whatever. But I do like the snack wrap still. I mean, I'd still say by default is still the best, but not saying best in terms of good, the best of like in comparison to the rest of them, which are pretty pathetic. I forget if Wendy's has one. They probably do, since they've been like doubling down on their chicken. Oh, KFC probably has one. They definitely have one. I haven't tried it yet though. KFC hasn't been good to me in a while. I don't know. Growing up, I used to love the biscuits from Kentucky, fried chicken. But is it me, or have they gotten bad over time? One, or two, are the Popeye biscuits just that much better than the KFC biscuits ever were? But I do think at some point the KFC biscuits definitely changed up the recipe, downgraded in quality. Something changed there. Because I can swear they used to taste better. They used to be those kind of things where you had to get them fresh, day of or the moment of. They're great, but then a day later you stick them in the microwave, try to heat them up again, they taste like just rubbery gum. KFC is actually better down here than it is up north. Not sure why. Also, the Wawas down here suck ass, but the ones up north are better. Who knows? Oh yeah, Wawas. There's also that whole thing too. Like, as weird as it sounds, I'm like crazy, like anticipating my first visit to Wawa. Oh no, never mind. I'm thinking Buc-ee's. I'm looking forward to going to Buc-ee's. Wawas, yeah, I've been to Wawas. When I was in New Jersey a couple of years ago, I went to Wawa's on the way to something I forget going on in New Jersey with a friend of mine. He drove us, of course. Yeah, we went to Wawa's. It was impressive. I would imagine it's a much lesser scale Buc-ee's, but it was pretty impressive, the variety of shit they had in general. I forget if there was a lot of ready to make or freshly made on the spot things, but I was really impressed with the size of it. Like, it outdid 7-Eleven, the most cleaned up, customer service friendly one ever that might have ever existed. Wawa's easily surpassed that. Buc-ee's are nice, very large. You'll be overwhelmed with the amount of stuff in the first time you go in. I've heard, and I've seen some videos too, of like just aisles seeming like they're endless, never ending. I forget where they said the biggest one was, but it's like practically a Walmart. It's like unnecessarily big like that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Buc-ee's whenever I get the chance to go to one. I don't even know where the nearest Buc-ee's. Actually, let me look it up real quick. Buc-ee's locations. Out of curiosity, let's see. Okay, so BUC space EE. Buc-ee's. 50 mega travel centers across 12 states. Let's see, according to this shit, which would be the closest one? Okay, so recent and upcoming openings, Arizona, Arkansas, Ohio, and in 2027, Missouri and/or Kansas City, Louisiana, Nebraska, North Carolina, Wisconsin. That's cool. Okay, good for them. States with one location only: Florida, Kentucky, South Carolina, Colorado, Missouri, Virginia, Mississippi, and Ohio so far. Okay, they're opening up another one in Ohio. Got it. And then there's 37 of them in Texas. There's 5 in Alabama. 3+. Why not just say the specific amount? In Georgia, and Tennessee has 2+. And they're being specific where they're located. I don't get it, but okay. So basically Tennessee has 2, Georgia has 3. Nice. What geographically, what's the closest? Well, Ohio, I guess. Or Virginia. New York, New Jersey, Maryland. Stupid. Yeah, of course, Ohio will be closest. Depending on where in Ohio. Because Ohio is deceptively big too. Even though it's like kind of just square. No. I don't know about a whole drive out there, but if it's along the way and I see it in Google Maps, I will definitely stop at Buc-ee's and make a whole afternoon out of it, if anything. All right, so Ohio's the closest one. Huber Heights. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Truck stops and rest stops are definitely better down here. You have Buc-ee's, Love's Travel Shop, and Pilot's, all quality 24-hour travel stops. And I would think the one in Virginia. Maybe. You might be right about Virginia. I don't know. Geographically speaking, I'm kind of like a little retarded. But either or. I would think maybe, you know what? I think the one in Virginia might be on the agenda when I finally make the trip down to Florida to see my friend and just redo Florida. Redo Florida for me with some justice, since again that trip I took down there wasn't worth it at all. It was 1 week confined and cooped up in a house, barely able to see outside the window. At least every day was sunny, but still, I was robbed of the potential glory of being in Florida. I would say it's definitely worth a stop if you're driving by one, but I wouldn't go out of my way just to visit one. You'll be done within like an hour. Yeah, that's a good point. There is that. Yeah, I think it'd be like a one and done type of thing. Like, it'd be cool if like I lived near one and it was along my way, and like, oh, you know, if I go out of my way 10 minutes, I can pass by Buc-ee's and get a bunch of shit. What's that, honey? You forgot this and that and the other and some other shit too, and I can bring some stuff we absolutely don't need for the home. Yeah, sure, I'll stop by Buc-ee's or whatever. Yeah, it's good for a one and done. I would love to go there though. I'd definitely make a little vlog out of it, you know. First time ever in the Buc-ee's and shit. In Virginia. And then, you know, maybe I can make a thing out of it eventually. Like, I'm visiting all the Buc-ee's across the country. And neither one of them stand out more than the other. It's just, I went to all of them. And maybe Buc-ee's will give me like a plaque or something honoring that accomplishment in life. In life, of course. There's a lot of things to live for, especially visiting all the Buc-ee's available. Humanly possible. But yeah, what was I saying? What was I saying before? Oh yeah, Taco Bell might have their wraps. What's coming up food-wise that I'd be tempted to try? That'd be worth my time. Oh yeah, there is a 7-Eleven Day, July 11th coming up. When 7-Eleven, they still do that thing. They give away the free Slurpees, whatever. Which I happen to have one like literally down the block from me. And I made friends with one of the ladies there that works there. I think she likes me. But whatever. She's cool though. We talk, we chat a little bit. And they had one day, I think, where it was like $1 for like the small Slurpee. Something like that. I think it's like barely over $1 anyway, as is, but the line of people just for the Slurpees, just because it was $1, and you had to be a rewards member, which, you know, fat ass over here, gladly admitting I am. I racked up the points, and I'm sitting patiently on those points until I can get me one of them pizzas, which I will say, as a New Yorker, maybe I'm not so proud to admit, but I'm not ashamed of either. 7-Eleven pizzas, not that bad. You know who makes better pizza than Little Caesars? Easily. 7-Eleven. Little Caesars pizza is horrendous. Little Caesars pizza is a hate crime. It's so bad. I've given it plenty of chances because they have the stupidly cheap offers of fucking a whole pie for like $4 and split it up into like 6 different toppings, and you get the crazy sticks, which ain't that crazy, but they're not that bad either. Pizza Hut, they got way better breadsticks. You know who's got the breast? The breast. Well, I wouldn't mind some breast in front of me right now, but the best breadsticks would definitely be Olive Garden of all places. But that's it. I've tried Olive Garden plenty of times too, just because they were like near and dear, and I know you're Italian, so I'm not going to offend you like that. Trying to tell you, oh, but Olive Garden though. No, absolutely not. It's nowhere near. I make better fucking pasta than Olive Garden ever could. But the breadsticks though, something about those breadsticks at Olive Garden, because when I used to live by one, like walking distance, I would just grab the breadstick out of curiosity. I was like really craving breadsticks, and I was too far away from any place else, and I didn't want to just go to Pizza Hut for breadsticks, so I was like, let me try over here if they got it. Then I did. It was like easily the best ones I've had so far. I've had weak moments and indulge in Olive Garden's endless pasta once in a while. Yeah. You can't beat that. It's I mean, for the price and all that food you get too, and the food coma afterwards, and the food baby you'll push out afterwards. How could you hate that though? But yeah, I don't know. I don't know about you since you were a Jersey guy. How you feel about pizza in general? Like your rules, your policies and shit. I've never really been a stickler for pizza. For me, New York pizza is still the best. I mean, the dollar slices have gone up to like $1.25, $1.50, depending wherever you go. But I wouldn't knock Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut over time has really been like just clutch for me, and I look forward to it most times actually. It's hard to find a local pizza shop anymore that isn't like crazy expensive for just one pie. Like cheese pies now are like fucking $25 and then like $30 for like just one little topping on them. I'm not opposed to pineapple. I did try it once and I actually liked it. It wasn't bad. I guess they cooked the pineapple enough or charred it enough with the ham that went on top where it actually tasted pretty good. I forget where I got it from, but it might have been like a local pizza shop back when. Domino's is alright. They've actually gotten better over time. I remember Domino's was more like the cheaper one, I think, or they always had like some sort of silly offer like buy one pizza, get like 5 bottles of 2-liter Cokes or something like that. Like dirt cheap. But they got better over time. They also got a lot more to offer. Pastas and all the bullshit that comes with it. The chicken bites and loaded fries and tater tots and whatever. They're not all great, but for the most part, it's good. You know, I didn't know actually the other day I had Domino's because I had an offer on Uber Eats. I think they had like a $3 pizza, but it turned no, that one was a regular size, a $3 large pizza from Domino's for whatever reason. But I wanted to get no, it wasn't. Sorry, no, not Uber Eats. It was Grubhub. I ordered through them. Grubhub gave me like a really good discount, I guess, because I have it linked to Amazon Prime. And I ordered enough food where like there was no delivery cost. I think I only had to pay the tip pause for the driver. And they threw in a small pizza according to them because I always knew that, you know, and I get them pretty often. The personal pan pizza from Pizza Hut. Those are like $3. They're not bad. They're actually cooked pretty well, and I like them at least. It almost seems like they give a shit about enough to make it because it's so small and like, you know, barely takes up any time. But their pan pizza is like maybe yay big. But the small pizza from Domino's ain't that much bigger. But I didn't know they made small now because I always knew like medium large or extra large. But I never saw a small from like a chain pizza like that. And I'm afraid maybe they'll start moving in that direction just to fucking jip us a little more. But who knows? The one thing I definitely miss from being up north, definitely superior pizza and Italian food than in Florida. I can imagine. I can imagine. Yeah. But then again, you know what? Me being Latino and being in Queens, I've had like the luxury afforded to me. The convenience of having like a delectable palate and being familiar with so many different like cultural dishes and shit, you know, Indian, Asian, wherever the fuck else pretty much. Where yeah, besides the pizza of course, but at least a fair trade-off down there for me would be great, to try some actual Cuban food from down there in southern Florida. But I mean, of course, you know, nothing beats pizza. Pizza, I think, is the ultimate comfort food, excuse me. Nothing tops that. It's not that easy to make if you want to make authentic, genuine dough and the sauce and everything that goes with it. But it's also not so off limits where just about any place can make their idea of pizza that it can actually, you know, be all right. Like, I love sushi pizza. I don't know if that's really common yet. I'm surprised if it isn't, but one place that used to be open by me, Rico Park. Yeah, I think they closed or something like that. They used to make a sushi pizza, which was like sushi, but laid out with the seaweed on the bottom and whatever toppings they would put normally on sushi on top with like the spicy mayo and the crunchy something something whatever the fuck it is, and like the fish eggs and all that. Really good. I'd always get that by default at that place and then see what else they had that was pretty good. And they almost never missed that Japanese spot. Pizza Hut I can deal with. Papa John's and Domino's I still can't stand. I'm with you on Papa John's, absolutely too. They're severely overrated. But Little Caesars is bottom of the barrel. That should be the new lobster / obligatory prison food. You know, if you really want to torture them or get the truth out of them, you feed them Little Caesars. It's disgusting. It's literally cardboard within the cardboard box with some poorly applied tomato sauce on top and barely melted cheese on top. The one thing they do get kind of good is those crazy puffs. Little like, I'd say you could probably call them like a pizza muffin or something like that. Those are pretty good actually. Philly cheesesteak one was good. The pepperoni one was good. But the pizza they fuck up every time. So disgusting. Little Caesars, yeah, like I said, is a hate crime to anybody with an actual taste or appreciation of food and or specifically pizza. You will never unconvince me of that shit. And I gave them way too many chances just because they exist and they're cheap like that. How they stay... Well, that's funny too, because I remember for a while when I was younger growing up, they were around a lot more. I remember them from being young, you know, pizza and all that shit, right? But I forget what happened, how the story went. Like, they went under, they disappeared from, like, the Northeast, or the East Coast, Betty had said. Moved on over to Michigan, the Midwest somewhere. They kind of rebuilt from there. Dare I say they got better, or maybe just, like, the Midwest really doesn't know what pizza should taste like, so they just went with anything and saw, like, a national brand nostalgia factor with Little Caesar, pizza. Brought them back to life, infused them with enough money to bring them back to, like, a solid enough point business-wise, and then they came back here, and they're terrible. I don't remember Little Caesars from when I was younger, but every time I tried it here ever since, it's been terrible. It's been horrible. I hate it. Pizza Hut is still very good, though. I'll gladly defend Pizza Hut forever and always. Now, back when, forever, always. Papa John's, no, I tried that a couple of times. Absolutely not. Yeah. Put Little John's on a fucking ship and just sink it in the middle of the ocean so we never have to fucking hear from it again. I do miss the diversity of food. I love Korean food up north. Almost no option for Korean food down here. I can imagine. Korean food too. That's a whole thing. Like with the udon and the kimchi and whatever else they do. I forget the name of right now. There used to be this place out in Flushing in Queens, right off of Main Street. What was her fucking name? I can't remember. It broke my heart when they closed. Hole in the wall little place. You had to know Flushing, outside of Main Street, like the main street, obviously, to know where this place was. It was like behind the warehouses, behind the fucking shit. Sorry, leading towards the warehouses where they used to have my favorite movie theater in Queens, big Whitestone Cineplex. I used to go out of my way, even when I lived like out way far out in Queens, way far in, way out of my way to go there. But I go there because stadium seating very early on, like 2 huge floors, like this whole glass ceiling thing in the middle when you went to the second floor. It felt like a little mini mall basically going in there. And Toys R Us used to be right next door, but they closed, and they would close forever. And then further down was Party City, which would only open up, during the season, mainly, fucking Halloween and shit. That place was the best. And I'm only bringing that up because, again, stadium seating, very comfortable seating, big, great food actually too, surprisingly. Their hot dogs were really good. Their pizza was surprisingly good too. Popcorn was actually like really buttery already. You didn't have to add it on. You would have to add on the salt though, but give or take. Beggars can't be choosers. But now that place is closed down. That whole lot, that whole place, which is also like walking distance from the DMV over there in Whitestone. And they closed it down to build a Tesla factory over there, which, Shout outs to Elon, first trillionaire on record at least, according to his bank account, or the many he has. I don't know how many he even has like that, but shout outs to him, first trillionaire. So he's building in my fucking one of my old neighborhoods in Flushing where I used to live out there for a little bit. Oh yeah, right. So little hole in the place, a hole in the wall place off of Main Street. Korean food with a little bit of Japanese infused, but they made this one thing I've never found ever again since at any other place. Very simple, but I don't know how they did it, or unless they had their own chickens or something like that. I still can't explain how, but it was chicken wings like the size of your head that tasted like chicken, but it would be stuffed with a variety of different little ingredients. They would stuff it with, my favorite was the corn and cheese. They would stuff it with something else, I think kimchi as well, but in the wing. The wings look perfectly normal besides being a little bigger than usual, but they would have the cheese and corn infused in there. I would go there any chance I got, and I didn't live necessarily close. I had to take a bus to get out there, but I didn't mind. I took my ex there. She loved it. She would beg and plead and cry to go there. I'd go just because, not to please her so much, but just because the food was so good. I put my friend onto there, and he took every girlfriend ever since we went to the first time since to that place and acted like he discovered it when it was me that fucking found it first. But you know, whatever. There's better things to claim than just a fucking little Korean restaurant. But it broke my heart when they closed because they were so good with that one little novelty act, the fucking infused chicken wings. Absolutely questionable how they did it. I don't really want to know how the fudge was made in that sense, or the fudge was packed, Betty had said. But I enjoyed it so much, I don't ever need to know. But I guess now I'll never know because I think they closed down during the pandemic, and it really broke my heart when they did because I love that place. They had, Jesus, the whole menu there was so good. They had those stuffed wings. They had these little entree things, like their version of like spring rolls that was so good too, with like a special kind of sweet and sour sauce that was like spicy but not too spicy. They had these like drinks, leech. I think the fruit was called leech, and then passion fruit or something infused with alcohol, like a slushy. They just bring up. I just don't keep bringing the jars in, keep fucking filling it up for me. Oh, what a place! That was a great place. I'd kill to fucking. Oh, I'm not saying. Well, you know what I mean. I'd kill to have the chance to rediscover that place again, or any other place that I might be able to stumble upon that recipe again. It's still a head scratcher to me though, because those were bigger wings than usual. They did taste very chickeny at least though, so that's good. I just don't know what creature they got that from, or how a wing inside could contain that much space to actually have like cheese and corn infused inside. Maybe that's the same kind of logic how we stumbled upon lobsters being a delicacy at this point, evolving from prison food to now a delicacy that is way too expensive, more than it has to be for a giant water spider, right? All right, it is late. It is 3 a.m. in the morning. It's way later than I expected to stream tonight. But thank you so much again to Eater of Worlds, 013 or 013, however you want me to call it, however you want me to say it. It doesn't matter. Appreciate you for chiming in, for the great combo, for the great chat. I see you're on the Twitch. If you want to, if you can, I'd really appreciate it if you did. I'm also on YouTube, same at who this is one. I stream on both every time. If you could sub on there, I really appreciate it. Trying to work up to get into the 1,000 subscriber, goal post if anything, and then work from there to get the watch hours and all that shit. Basically, just work from there, basically. So, but again, appreciate you a lot. Really appreciate the convo. Really appreciate the insight on Florida, Jersey, everything we touched on so far. Tomorrow's, well, it's already Thursday. I mean, later today, it's still Thursday, but the evening portion of Thursday, I will be on doing some more. Oh, no, actually, no. No, not tonight. No, I can't tonight. I'm gonna be a little preoccupied with some other shit I wanted to record. Like I mentioned, I do a couple of podcasts. I do a couple of podcasts. One called Fuck It, which is just bullshitting, which I may eventually do the history of lobster, the unspoken history of lobster episode. Eventually, thanks to you again, Eater of Worlds 013. And I do another podcast, which is called Who This Been Watching, which is a movie review podcast, which I tend to do on a weekly basis best I can. I got some episodes to catch up on, but I will be doing a lot this week and weekend. As of tomorrow in the afternoon, I will be watching Toy Story 5. It has been a really long time, but it was my first time this past week finally watching all the Toy Stories up until now, 1 through 4. So I'll be doing a recap of my first time ever watching all 4 Toy Story movies. I'll be watching Toy Story 5 tomorrow afternoon, and by that evening I'll record my review of it. I'll have it posted up on Friday. It will be spoiler review, but hey, you know what? It's okay. Freedom of choice. You want to come back to it after you see it, you can do that too. It's a free country. We live in a democracy. We've got that luxury afforded to us, right? You watch Toy Story 5 whenever you want, then you can watch the accompanying review, spoiler review of Toy Story 5, whenever you want. You come back to it after the fact. And then after that, I'm going to do a tier list of all 5 Toy Stories, finally in comparison. Hopefully 5's the last one, because 1, 2, and 3 are classics. I think 3 is a masterpiece. 4 was a very pleasant surprise, out of left field, good, but definitely the weaker of the 4 to date. And now, gotta see what happens with 5. Let's see what goes there. And then on top of that too, I got another bonus Toy Story related thing coming along with, again, recapping 1 through 4. What should I expect with 5 in that episode as well? Toy Story 5 spoiler review, a Toy Story tier list, and then another Toy Story oddly enough related video in the coming week. Over the weekend I'll be recording that shit. I appreciate you all for the time spending it with me. Again, you as well, especially Eater of Worlds. Appreciate that. At Who This Is One's the at for me on socials, YouTube and Twitch. I made it easy for everybody out there to catch me all at one at, all one tag, everywhere applicable you can imagine. The TikTok, the Instagram, the Twitter, the threads, all that good shit. I am the bald, angry, dumb gamer, the bad gamer. I don't do it on purpose. I don't game badly on purpose. I just am that bad, as proven earlier to stream with Star Fox 1993, of course. We started yapping so much and had fun yapping that we just left that, playing in the background, as it played me like I was a fucking background NPC at best. I see you, Star Fox. But I'll be back for you on Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Friday, we'll be back to do some more Star Fox, maybe on Saturday too, who knows. But then next week we're starting again Star Fox 64 to see if we do any better with that game. Hopefully so, because this is a motherfucker, this goddamn Star Fox back on the SNES. But yeah, appreciate you all. Thanks for tuning in. I will catch you on the next one, and that will be Friday again, Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. to be exact. See you then. Appreciate you. Have a good night. Have a good